Don't just tap out. Listen to Truth on Tap. DJ Bad Guy says so.
To Truth on Tap with hosts Kevin.
How can I say that my show is Truth on Tap if I don't come in here and set you free? Ooh, are we going to talk about some shit tonight? Get your friends in here. Get them in.
Opening up the Truth pipeline.
So what's this show going to be? Well, I'm going to set you free. That's what the truth does.
For these bitches.
Truth on Tap.
WesJohnson.com. Check them out. This is crazy. Do you know I love pickles and peanut butter? I cannot get enough of that. Pickles and peanut butter is like an orgasm during an orgasm, if that's even possible. I couldn't imagine the biological possibility of it, yet the fantastical fantasy possibility is quite real.
On Tap.
I am going to uncover the deepest, darkest parts of the human psyche right in front of you.
Truth on Tap is now flowing from iHeartRadio. Get your Kierstead fix by Googling Truth on Tap with Kevin A. Kierstead.
I mean, I could have fun with this guy, though. He's got a picture of his penis up there, and he guesses he's a black dude looking for a twink.
All the truth you can handle, running hot on iHeart, Facebook, Spreaker, and more. You want the truth?
Feel the blunt force trauma of that during this show, yeah.
Don't tap out. Get the truth. Truth on Tap. Tap, tap, tap.
Christ almighty, man. What is the date? It's 10/6/2014. I like even numbers. I'm looking at all even numbers up in this bitch. 11 o'clock p.m., 11:02 for you fucking perfectionists. We're going to talk about you tonight a little bit. Yeah, it's a cussing show. Get the Boston kids out of the room. Hell, you might need to shoot the neighbors if they'd be offended by this. We wouldn't want anybody offended, so shoot them straight in the fucking head. Genghis featuring Stereo Black Star Super Negro opens up my show tonight, and it has many nights before this, because I find this song baffling in many ways. It's French rap. I know French. I'm pretty decent in French. About on a 10 scale for someone learning a second language, I'm about a 6, I guess. And I studied the shit for 5 years, so I should be at least an 8, but I'm not. I didn't use it for the past 15 years, and I forgot a lot. That's life. What are you going to do? Whatever. Bon chance, my Negro. So tonight is going to be about speeding your PC up, at least for the first half, and I use that term somewhat loosely because I think I'm going to cut out of the PC talk about a half hour in and go on to freestyle, because I'm more interested. Yes, I'm interested in helping you get your PC fast. Yes, I know a shitload about PCs that I almost wish I didn't know. But what I'm interested in tonight has more to do with world affairs, which is typically my biggest interest, world affairs and the human mind in those world affairs. And a lot of you guys know I'm not into local news and local affairs because I find local news generally a failure. Have you ever watched local news? Oh, it just sucks. I mean, for one thing, you're going to have amateurs on. They're going to have their shit all wrong, from the film people right on up to the anchor. And then they're going to have, bad equipment. And all they're going to tell you about is somebody got shot on 42nd Street again. I don't fucking care, okay? That might be right around the corner for me, but I don't care. I care about all people. I want to see the whole picture. Fuck that microscopic shit. Let's say if I like science, I'm not going to be in the DNA analysis room. I'll put it that way. However, I will read the reports. Yeah. And speaking of DNA, what is the DNA of today's modern PC? Where is it going? Does it have to look like its ancestors? Not necessarily. We'll talk about it. First, I'm going to get you fast. We're going to get you to speed this system up. Yeah. If you got a PC and you don't know, here's the thing, though. You can Google it, right? Yes. So what I'm going to do is give you stuff that you can't Google or that you can Google but don't understand. See, I'm going to teach you how to think about speeding your PC up so that you don't have to know what to think all the time. You'll know the philosophy behind, not the philosophy, that's wrong. It is a science. You'll know the science behind what slows you down and what speeds you up. How's that sound? Yeah, I thought you'd like that. One of the things that a radio show host has to deal with is, what the hell do I have to tell people that they can't just get from somewhere else? Well, for one thing, you're never going to get to speed your computer up with a guy dropping the F-bomb. So feel that. Here comes George Linus's DJ Archive with Pulse. I just downloaded it. Why do I like it? Got a news kind of a feel to it. And I don't know. I think of my show kind of like news. But usually what it is, my show, if you haven't listened to it before and you're one of those techie people, this part may annoy you. And if it does, fuck off. Okay? Because it's my show and this is the way I like to do it. I open up the way I want to open up. I listen to music that gets me fired up. I don't drink or do drugs. So let me do my shit, okay? Maybe if I did crack, or I was on the acid, or if I'd ever tried cocaine or heroin, maybe I'd be playing a little Jimi Hendrix and chilling. But that's not what I like to do. This is what I do. So deal with that. Feel that like a dull screwdriver inserted into your temple with great force. Yes. Yeah. We're getting there. Yep, I need about 2 more minutes to finish getting fired up. What will we talk about in the news after the PC stuff? We'll talk a little bit about ISIS, what I like to call the gay terrorist group. And it's just because I know it'll piss them off if they hear it, and I'm that kind of guy. Well, if you're going to kill innocents, I'm going to fuck with you, okay? Yeah, I have a problem with that. Bring me an ISIS member that's killed an innocent, especially if it's been a child, and just leave me in a room with them for 5 minutes and promise me there won't be an investigation afterward, and I'll take care of business for you. You tell me, are you an American? What would you do if you had been given a chance to go into a room with Osama bin Laden before he was killed, but after 9/11, okay? You'd been given a chance to go into a room with him, all the doors locked, he had no weapons, you had no weapons. Now, you could sit there and talk shots with him. He doesn't speak English, but you could hear him go, la, 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 la. Or you could dismantle his ass, which is what I would have done. And I would have done it as slowly as I felt comfortably doing it, to let him feel pain as much as possible. Sounds vicious, doesn't it? Oh my God, who's this brute? Well, what the fuck? He has no civilized thinking about punishment and crime? No, not when it comes to people like him. No, I'm straight fucking caveman. I would have ripped his head off. I would have. In the room with my bare hands. You betcha. Yes, sir. People think everything's a conspiracy. He didn't even do anything. We planted them there, Kevin. You need to stop listening to Alex Jones, motherfuckers. Jesus Christ. People thinking everything's a goddamn conspiracy are killing us. They're killing us. If you know friends that believe in all the conspiracy theories, call them retarded in front of other people, please, and have them go study critical thinking. Then have a look at the conspiracy theories again. After they're good at critical thinking, they will dismiss 60 to 90% of it right away. Fucking idiot. You can tell them I said that too. They're killing us. Oh, Lord.
Truth on Tap is now flowing from iHeartRadio. Get your Kierstead fix by Googling Truth on Tap with Kevin A. Kierstead. All the truth you can handle running hot on iHeart, Facebook, Spreaker, and more. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth on Tap.
My man Wes Johnson, whose voice you just heard, is right 99.9999997% of the time. He was wrong there. Because I think you can handle the truth, America. I do believe you can handle the truth. And you know what? I shouldn't put those confining marks of America on it. How about my friend from Australia? How about my friend from Holland? What about my people from the UK? I don't have any Russians in this bitch. Got no Chinese in this bitch. What does that tell you? He can't. Don't listen to Kevin. He's promoting the cause of freedom and free speech, and that motherfucker will warp these communist minds faster than Pee Wee Herman would take a shit if he had had X-Lax for the last 3 nights in a row for dinner. See how creative I am? I just completely came up with that off the top of my head. Yeah, that was an epic failure in creativity. I do apologize. We move on. You mathematical thinkers will appreciate what I'm about to tell you about computers. You want to speed it up, right? You've done the Google. It's not working. I tried to close the programs I didn't need working, and I open a browser and the CD drive opens. Okay, all right. So here's where I want you to start, my friends. If you're running Windows XP or later, do this. Start by going to the Start button, lower left corner, click it, go to the white area there, type msconfig, 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 and press enter. Okay, I'm giving you time to do this. You will have a menu up, and that menu, about the 4th or 5th tab over, depending on your layout, you'll see one called Startup. Go to that. Now, if you see more than 5 things checked in there, there's part of your problem right there. You don't need all that shit loading at startup. People get confused. They think, well, I have to use this. I see Adobe Acrobat Readers loading up at startup. I need that. I read PDF documents. Yes, I know you're going to read PDF documents, but you don't need the fucking app running in the background. It will open when you open the document, okay? And that's how most of the things you see a check in the box for are running. They're running in the background. Back in the day, we used to call them TSRs, terminate and stay resident. It means it's out of your face, but it's still running, okay? The idea wasn't a bad one. It was to make things work faster. And I would tell you, if you were opening 400 or 500 PDF documents per day, maybe it would be a good idea to have the Adobe PDF app running in the background. But maybe you're probably not doing that. So let's take that check out of there. And what we're agreeing to do then is to have the document go into our registry when we double click it and force Adobe Acrobat Reader or whatever your PDF reader of choice is to open up then. Might take a half a second longer, but it's going to allow your PC to run faster on all of the other applications and programs you're running because it wasn't resident in memory. You don't want to gobble up your memory for no reason. Now, some of the things you see loading at startup aren't just running in the background. They're chomping up fucking resources. Chances are most of the stuff you see there you do not need. I'm going to tell you a few to leave there, and I'm not getting into details of why. You can Google that. I had to open up my own to pull it up. I'm running Windows 7 Home Premium on this particular loaner that I'm on. My new system should be here by the end of the week. And because I'm on a loaner, I haven't even done it to my system. So there's a good 25 things there with shit loading at startup. Hasn't affected this system yet because it's a bare bones system that hasn't had anything added to it really, except for the Toshiba factory stuff. So you'll see something possibly called Intel Common User Interface. Leave those checks in. If you see something like Smart Audio or Blank Audio Control Panel, unless you use the control panel down in the lower right corner, uncheck that. You don't need to get to your audio properties all the time. Now, somebody running a show, yeah, you might tinker a lot with your audio. If that's the case, go ahead and leave your properties open down in the lower right. Like in my case, Synaptics pointing device driver, don't need to load it. Your mouse is going to work anyway, okay? Toshiba Power Saver in this case, Toshiba flashcards, don't need either of them. I could uncheck both of those. Power saving can be a real memory hog, but you want to be wary if you're running your laptop off of battery sometimes, because that's when power save starts to matter. If you always have it plugged in, fuck power save. Get rid of it. You don't need it. It's just another thing to interfere with your day. Let's see. Message Center, for me, this would be unchecked. Toshiba Real Time would be unchecked. Best Buy PC app, you got to be kidding me, that would be unchecked. Google Toolbar Notifier, not necessary. Uncheck the shit out of that. Word Web, something I installed on this loaner. It looks up words for me. I like that. I would have it open. I would have that load at startup so that my hotkeys worked. A lot of times if you uncheck an application, all it's going to mean is that your hotkeys won't work. That's all it was staying resident for. So you have that. Your antivirus, you should probably leave loading at startup, especially because it tends to do scans before Windows completely loads to check out those sneaky viruses and get them out. I have here a Power ISO Virtual Drive Manager. Because I have some things loaded that I do use, I would leave the check in. If you don't use a virtual drive device, you see something like that, get rid of it, uncheck it. McAfee Security Scanner Plus, get that shit out of... I'm unchecking that now, just in case I do have to reboot before I get my new system. Anything you see that says McAfee or